week after spring break turned into a packed schedule of events for students looking for options beyond class. Coming up, find out how Red Raiders could grab some painting supplies and create a masterpiece with the help of a former TV artist.
A week of fun for many students includes a trip off campus to one of the Hub City's entertainment venues. We'll show you how some Red Raiders enjoyed a night of gaming at a popular spot for free, courtesy of the Student Activities Board.
And it was another busy weekend for Texas Tech athletics, especially on the diamond and tennis court. MCTV's Medhin Buriani has a wrap-up of the top weekend action, including scores and highlights in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of MCTV Weekday Update. I'm MaKayla Kneisley.
And I'm Melanie Pinkerton. Students returning from spring break last week may have been expecting a letdown after the days of fun away from campus, but a full schedule of events helped students get back in the swing of things with plenty to choose from.
Last week's calendar featured dozens of options, including one creative event where students could channel a famous TV artist to create their own one-of-a-kind masterpiece. On Friday night, the Learning Center opened their doors for a special after-hours option for Red Raiders, Bob Ross Painting Night. Started at 5:30 p.m. in the Learning Center office in Drain Hall. 40 students who reserved a spot at the event were given a canvas, paintbrush, and a palette of colors to create their very own Bob Ross-styled original painting. The attendees watched a classic Bob Ross video, walking them through step by step through the process. The workshop challenged students' creative skills while helping them build community with their fellow Red Raiders.
Similar to our goal with our Murder Mystery Night, we're here to create a good third space for students, a way for them to get off their phones, meet someone new in their Texas Tech community, and just have fun. Have a snack, come relax after classes, after finals, after midterms, and just make new connections and meet new friends at a table.
Bob Ross Painting Night was one of several workshops that the Learning Center is hosting this semester. In fact, Friday's event was the second Bob Ross workshop the center has hosted due to the popularity of the event. If you would like to find out more about the Learning Center and keep up with future events, you can follow TTU Learning Center on Instagram or Learning Center TTU on Facebook.
After students finished their best Bob Ross impressions, they also had the option to change their wardrobe and mood while heading over to the Education Building for a much different event. The student group Raider Power of Paranormal hosted a goth prom on Friday night. The evening took over room 001 in the education basement from 6 to 9 p.m. for a night of haunting fun. Members of the group invited all Red Raiders out for some goth-themed music, movies, and dancing to create an authentic goth club experience. Attendees were also encouraged to dress the part to add to the atmosphere. Students could also enjoy free refreshments, games, and photo opportunities to remember the experience. The Goth Prom was the most recent of Raider Power Paranormal's hauntingly fun events hosted for the Texas Tech community. The group's most well-known and popular event is the Haunted Tour of the TTU campus, which happens every year around Halloween. If you would like to get involved with the Raider Power of Paranormal group, you can find more information by searching for RPOP at TTU on Facebook and Instagram.
A full week of events here on campus wouldn't be complete without a fun and free option by the Student Activities Board. Last week, SAB invited students to take a short trip to save some money while checking out a local gaming hotspot. Last Thursday, the Students Activity Board headed out to Dave & Buster's, located on the north side of the West End Shopping Center. SAB brought along fun cards for the first 250 students to show up, giving them the chance to enjoy a night of free entertainment at the popular gaming venue. Red Raiders then had as much as 3 hours to check out the arcade options, which range from air hockey to racing simulators to skee ball to tons of games awarding tickets to redeem for prizes. Students could enjoy food and drinks to round out their evening of fun. SAB's free night at Dave & Buster's wrapped up at 9 p.m. on Thursday, but the group is already gearing up for the next activity this week. Frisbee Fiesta is scheduled for this Thursday night at Urbanovsky Park. Students can head over to the park starting at 5 p.m. to create their own spin art frisbee and then put their skills to the test in a can jam challenge. The winners will receive a prize from SAB at the end of the night. Like all of SAB's events, Frisbee Fiesta is free with student ID. Temperatures across the South Plains have felt like a bit of a roller coaster after highs climbed to 98 degrees on Thursday to reach the all-time record in March. But after that, temperatures only climbed into the 60s and 70s on Friday and Saturday.
It started feeling a bit warmer yesterday, but what can we expect this week? Weather specialist Audrey Felux is in the studio with a look at what's ahead in today's MCTV forecast. Audrey?
Yes, so as we look at our live MCTV tower cam, we can see partly cloudy skies and a slight breeze across campus. However, it is fairly warm. As we said yesterday, it warmed up to 86 degrees, which granted was not our record-breaking 91, but still significantly warmer than our normal 72 degrees that we would be expecting. This trend will continue into today as we see upper 80s and low 90s throughout the South Plains area. DeMitt 92, Rawls 88, and Post 89 degrees. So still sticking with those warmer temperatures. That could change, however, on Wednesday when we see some winds move into the South Plains area with the addition of a cold front. This will drop off temperatures on Wednesday and it'll warm back up on Thursday and Friday. However, we will see the return of these winds on Saturday and the addition of a cold front as well, which will drop off temperatures for the rest of the weekend. As for our lows tonight, we're going to see 50s and 60s across the South Plains. DeMitt 55, Plainview 58, and Post 61. So 50s and 60s as for our lows tonight. As for tomorrow, pretty similar to what we are seeing today. Upper 80s, low 90s throughout the South Plains. Jayden 91, Rawls 89, and DeMitt 88 degrees. So still sticking with these warmer temperatures throughout the South Plains. For tonight in Lubbock, 59 degrees, partly cloudy with a slight southwest wind at 11 miles per hour. As for tomorrow, 90 degrees, partly cloudy, and a west-southwest wind at 14 miles per hour. As for our 3-day forecast, as I said, on Wednesday it's going to drop off slightly with those winds moving into the area. However, it's going to warm back up on Thursday, 85 as our high on Thursday and 79 on Wednesday. As we can see, it'll warm back up, as I said, from Wednesday into Thursday, and this will continue on Friday, 88 degrees as our high there. However, with the return of those winds and a cold front, Saturday it'll drop back off, 67 degrees as our high on Saturday, Sunday 68, and Monday 73. So it's going to warm up slightly on Monday. However, still cooler temperatures than we saw the end of this week. Into our lows, mid-50s to end this week. However, when this cold front moves in on Saturday, it will drop temperatures down to 39 from Saturday into Sunday. So if you have any Easter plans in the morning, it could be fairly cool. However, by the evening, it should warm back up as you continue with your Easter plans. I'm Audrey with MCTV Weather. Back to you.
Thanks, Audrey. The change in weather didn't keep the Texas Tech softball, tennis, and baseball teams out of action over the weekend.
The Red Raiders were back on the court in Diamond in hopes of securing more conference victories. But not every team walked away with the W in the win column. MCTV's Medhin Buriani has a wrap-up of the top headlines from this weekend in sports. Medhin.
Thank you, MaKayla and Melanie. Welcome back to Monday Sports News. I'm Medhin Buriani, and here's a look at what went down in Red Raider sports. Starting Friday night, number 2 Texas Tech softball took down Iowa State in dominant fashion. Ace pitcher Nigeri Kennedy was absolutely killing it, racking up strikeouts and keeping Iowa State guessing all night. She really had everything under control at the plate. The Red Raiders came through in big moments, including a clutch RBI double in the 5th inning that blew the game open. Kennedy also earned the First Athletes Unlimited Softball Golden Ticket, a major honor recognizing her as one of the top players in the country. The Golden Ticket guarantees Kennedy a spot on one of the AUS League teams during the draft in May. And in more program news, Texas Tech has officially renamed its softball facility to Tracy Sellers Field. Sellers, a former Lady Raider from 2001 to 2003, along with her husband John, has made significant contributions to the program. It's always great to see former players give back. The Red Raiders will look to keep that momentum going in the next midweek matchup against Abilene Christian tomorrow night. Moving on to women's tennis, the Lady Raiders swept Colorado on Senior Day. Tech set the tone early, locking in the doubles point with aggressive net play and strong communication. They came out ready in singles. It was all Red Raiders with the clinching straight sets win on court 1 to seal the sweep. About as complete a performance as you can ask for, the team honored its seniors after the match in an emotional ceremony, a really special moment out there. Texas Tech will be back in action this weekend as they hit the road to Arizona for their next conference matchups. Now to the baseball diamond, and this one was a heartbreaker. On Saturday, Texas Tech fell to TCU in a 13-inning thriller 10-9. This game had a little bit of everything. The Red Raiders got off to a strong start with early run production, including a sac fly and an RBI base hit to put pressure on TCU right away. TCU answered back mid-game with a big swing, a 2-run home run that shifted the momentum, and from there it turned into a back and forth battle. Tech showed a lot of fight late in the 9th inning, down to their final out. They delivered a clutch 2-out RBI single to the game at 9. Just when it looked like it was over, they kept it alive. Extra innings were all about grit. Both bullpens stepped up and defense came through in big moments, including a diving stop in the infield that saved a run and kept Tech in the game. But in the 13th, TCU finally broke through with a go-ahead RBI hit that ended up being the difference. A tough way for it to end after such a hard-fought game. Final score, TCU 10 and Texas Tech 9. The Red Raiders lost again on Sunday, handing the series sweep to TCU, but they will look to bounce back tomorrow night against Abilene Christian back on their home field. That's all for sports. Back to you, MaKayla and Melanie.
Thanks, Medhin. The Students Activity Board is known for their fun and free activities they provide for students almost every week. But the group also offers many opportunities to give back to the local community.
And even though SAB usually focuses on helping people in the Lubbock area, starting this week, they're asking Red Raiders to help out a different group of local residents. SAB will be hosting a pet supplies donation drive throughout the month of April. The drive will start this Wednesday in the Sub. SAB will have donation bins across from the Raider Depot campus store and by the ATM machines near the east entrance to the Sub. Students are asked to drop off items such as pet food, treats, toys, blankets, and cleaning supplies. All of these items will be donated to the Haven, a local no-kill animal shelter. If you would like to help out some local furry friends, you can drop off items anytime the Sub is open between now and Thursday, April 30th.
So Melanie, are you planning to drop off any items during the donation?
I really like the Haven. I've been there once before and I thought it was a really cute place, so I might consider it. What about you?
I probably will as well. I have several pet items at home that we don't really use anymore, so I'll have to dig through it and see what I can give. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.